Hello, my little ponies, and welcome back to Dragon's Dogma. Here we have our party. I thought Ken was just wearing the weird mask. And right now we want to check out that place. What's our quest? Ooh. Okay, okay, priority quest. Oh, that's only if we... Alright, fine, let's do this thing. How would you know how lively this place tends to be? What do you have to speak of to us?
We're in Oi, isn't it? They're more like. Take all the time you like. Take all the time. Do come again.
These are bandits, Master. No doubt they've hidden the toad carefully. It is dreadfully easy to while away hours just shopping. You humans certainly do make a lot of expressions. This way leads on to the...
Okay, then. It's like, I don't remember how many missions I did way back in the day. But I remember 2 specific missions that had very, interesting things to them. Okay, could go way down there, could go way up there.
The mild weather year-round makes Francis well suited for human life.
Let's go up this way.
I've come to feel more at peace when the capital's in sight. Castle walls. Things of such. War has not been kind to this place.
Gosh, we've sure come a long way in the last about a decade since this game came out. You can have games like this in VR now.
Yep.
They're left exposed after a grand strike. Halter after they strike. It was like a walk. No, they are the advantage. It is a trouble foe in quick succession. They're left exposed after a grand strike. I cannot take this more. It is a troubling foe. Please help me.
Really? Thank you. We forgot to check, since the last episode, if this game does have a multiplayer mod. Come on, allies, heal me! Or not, I guess. Just...
Perhaps it's
What?
time we began our search.
Apparently, the pawns aren't smart enough to
The mild
revive the main character.
for human life.
The pawns can revive each other,
I've come to feel more at peace when the
I
capital
think.
is in sight.
I'm pretty sure they can.
Are you all right,
But they
Master?
can't revive me.
Castle
That's why all those people on the internet said
things of such.
that you're better off playing a mage, so you don't have to risk dying. But I like getting right into the thick of the action.
They're armed, Master. It was most like a walk once. Counter after they strike. They attack in quick succession. They're left exposed after a grand strike. I cannot take this more. It is a troubling
Okay, I need to change that control button. Because having that be control is really not a good button for that. Gameplay, video, controls, blah, 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 blah. I'm drawing sheets. Weapon is actually X dash toggle walk or run is inventory command pawns to go blah blah blah. Backspace and escape do two different things.
Perhaps it's time we began our search for this magic book, Master.
Seems more holds our grimoire. Grand Sword, the beating heart of all Grances. Hold on. Please don't overdo it.
Gosh, I'm surrounded by giants. Really? Not even gonna try to help. The fighter saw me being stabbed in the back while I was catching my breath and went, "Yeah, you got this."
Seems more holds our grimoire.
The mild weather year-round makes Grancis well suited for human life.
I'm on my way.
Imagine if you could, like, teach your pawn how to work better and stuff. When it does certain actions, you can either, like, praise it or scold it to make it more likely or less likely to do certain things in the future.
They're left exposed after a grand strike. They attack in quick succession.
Please help me.
Gosh! Why would it be we be getting a quest that tells us to go in this direction if there's just going to be
Perhaps it's time
bandits that out-level us? Okay, maybe they don't out-level us. Because there are, like, 8 of them to the 4 of us. And we have no proper battle plan.
I've come to feel more at peace when the captain is in sight.
And they can one-shot our mage.
On my way. Armed bandits arisen. Counter after they strike. They attack in quick succession. It is a troubling foe. They are left exposed after a grand strike. I can restore your help anytime.
Oh my... What the... Okay, what was that? Did someone... Did someone get survival? What?
Perhaps it's
I thought that one was going pretty good, too.
the mild weather year-round.
Run in, use some scarlet kisses to take one down.
I've come to feel more.
And then just suddenly, all of a sudden, I'm dead. I was at just about full health, and then I died. They don't have a mage, do they?
Do it. Don't worry, I am here. War has not been kind in this place.
They're armed, Master.
They attack in quick succession. Grand strike. Counter after they strike. Whoa, they are the advantage. Most like a rock once. I cannot take much more. It is a troubling foe.
I've an ailment. They're left exposed after a grand strike.
Come on, we got you.
It is a troubling foe. They attack in quick succession. I cannot move. I was clumsy.
Run in, do some reviving.
Very well. I'm on my way. I'll go at once. Please help me. They attack in quick succession. We'll make a fine base for our adventure. I hold it. Finish it quickly.
Leave it to me.
They're left
Alright.
exposed after a grand strike. They attack in quick succession.
Oh, you did some healing. Cool.
They're left exposed after a grand strike. After they strike.
Alright, well, I definitely see at least 2 more. And then I get stun locked and killed in 2 hits. This entire episode is going to be me doing one fight over and over again. Because I didn't think that the difficulty
Perhaps it's time
adjustment would apply to such things as, yeah, the enemy can just stun lock you.
mild weather year round.
Just keep attacking you over and over again and you're not allowed to escape. I didn't see any sort of like a dodge roll
Come to feel more
option
from the capitals and
that I might be able to use.
Are you all right, Master? Cousin Walls.
So if there's a dodge roll, that might have been a better choice to do.
war has not been kind in this place.
Get him! Times are hard indeed. Get him!
Armed bandits have risen.
There may be aught here.
Very well.
Let me see. Counter after they strike. They're left exposed after a grand strike. I cannot take much more. They're left exposed after a grand strike. Such open locales make clean from enemies. I cannot take much more. No!
Elliot, back to your feet.
I was clumsy. They attack in quick succession. They're left exposed after a grand strike. Counter after they strike. No, they hold the advantage. I'm on my I'll go at once. They're left exposed after a grand strike. I cannot take much more. I have it! Hurry! Was most like a watch post once. Counter after they strike.
Lift you up. And lift you
Quick
up.
succession.
Oh,
It's a
sorry.
troubling foe.
Nope. Run around the battlefield, then take out their archers.
Very well. I was clumsy. Tis a troubling foe. Counter after they strike. My consciousness fades.
On, finish healing, please. Thank you. Gentlemen. Come on, this guy doesn't even have much health.
They attack in quick succession.
One nice power attack takes him out. You can heal? Cool, heal.
Restore your health. I cannot take much more. No, they hold the advantage. I was clumsy. They're left exposed after a grand strike.
Just running around the battlefield and just healing the allies.
They attack in quick succession. A moment's distraction can prove fatal after they strike.
Come on. Nope. Not letting up. Revive you, revive you, revive you. I am still using a bad bow, so my bow attacks are still kind of bad. But, like, still?
I am still. I am very still.
Yeah, you're a little bit too still. Here, let me pick you back up again. Okay, Cherry, why don't you start doing this as soon as there's just one left?
We have triumphed. Anytime.
Well, now that fight is over. Yes, let's save. How were there bandits
It was most like a watch post once.
just outside of town?
Use inside.
There's a great big city, and like just outside the gates, there are bandits. You think you can stand to be
Ooh, someone just picked up a, was it absorbent ring or something?
rag?
Or rag. Dang.
You can use it to dry yourself off if you get damp.
Really hoping it was a ring.
Such open
Trying to play Donkey Kong?
enemies are tricky propositions.
There's stuff in the barrels.
This looks interesting.
Dun 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 dun. I don't know. Do 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 do.
All right, the other bandits, right?
Do do do. Do do do.
They're armed, Master.
They're armed, Master.
They attack in quick succession.
Nice lightning. I really like the part that it doesn't have friendly fire for some reason.
Strength in numbers of
Yeah, that is very
Thanks for all your
convenient.
help. Hold on. What's this? When venturing into new territory, best you went by daylight.
Thanks, Azura.
You're welcome.
That's reasonable information. Alright.
The road splits here.
These bandits?
Let's be doubly sure of which
No,
will
no,
see us
no.
to our destination.
These are just people. Guards, I think.
hard indeed.
Alright, don't beat them up.
Yeah.
Times are hard.
We know if they were bandits because they would start attacking us.
roads and you'll
Hello. Yes, Arisen.
Ah. Very important information.
I like how sometimes you can just find other people's,
Yes,
was it? Their pawns.
Indeed.
The roads are safer than the brush, but still, we'd best stay wary. Hello. Yes, Arisen.
This feels like something's about to fight us here.
This must have been built ages ago.
But sometimes a bridge is just a bridge.
a bridge will serve as a fine
Okay, yeah.
landmark.
Bandits aren't fond of intruders. If they see us,
what's
they'll
that?
attack.
Gosh, whenever I hear about the thing in video games, it's like, oh, stay on the path, because if you go off the path, you're more likely to find, like, you know, monsters or enemies are more likely to fight you or whatever. I'm just reminded of one game that I think, like, for the PS1 that I played when I was just a little kid. And I'd spent so much time trying to get past, like, this one town's monsters and fights and all that. And I finally did, and someone had said the same thing, like, oh, make sure to stay on the road, or else they might find monsters and stuff. I didn't abide by that because, and like, even knew at the time, because it's like grid-based, going off the road isn't actually a shorter journey, it just feels like one. So I went off the road, encountered, like, a lion that immediately took out my entire party.
This looks interesting.
Okay, so the advice to stay on the road was a bit of an
Yes,
understatement.
Arisen.
Yeah, I think, like, the party was, like, level 7 or 8, and the lion was, like, level 20 or 30.
Each different combination
Jeez.
of allies offers its own tactical
Something like...
What's that?
But the worst part about it all, I have no idea what that game was. I remember the town and the fighting and the combat system and whatnot. And I'm reasonably certain it was for the PlayStation because I've looked at every single game ever made for the Nintendo 64, at least ones that were translated to English or made in English. And it wasn't an N64 game. And it must have been a game I rented, and the only games I was renting at the time were N64 and PS1.
I see.
So it had to... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a JRPG, which
ourselves to suit our objectives.
doesn't exactly narrow it down.
No, really doesn't.
So I want to go and search for that one game and actually play through it again. All I remember is that Dark Town, the turn-based battles.
Turn-based combat.
Maybe that's why I don't like turn-based combat. That made it so my party couldn't run away from that lion. And he just died.
I mean, it's also possible it wasn't turn-based combat. It could have been, like, ATB, which was what like, okay, the original Final Fantasy games were all like turn-based combat,
Spots in the forest.
but they switched to an ATB system where it's basically turn-based combat, except it's also like live and everyone has their own meter that refills to let you start controlling them again.
Okay, so it's like an agility based.
Yeah, basically,
Agility turn based.
I believe, well, active time
Magic arisen.
battle, I think is what it's called, but it was still, you know, when you control someone, pick what they're going to do, but with ATB, instead of just having all the time in the world, you basically still gotta, you know, work quickly. Also, yeah, you're gonna get eaten by that one.
Yeah, so I don't know for certain. What was that about? Like, I think it was turn-based. Like, I had all the time in the world to choose what I wanted to do with my characters.
Ah,
But considering just how, like, more powerful the enemy was, it didn't matter what I did.
Never mind the beasts. I'll take the loot.
And it
Attacking
was,
it
like,
took off
straight up-
so...
and it was straight up like game over, right? It wasn't like it was a scripted you lose.
Yeah, it was like a game over, go back to the last scene.
Okay. Now, important question: was it a lion or a chimera?
It could have been a chimera. I just remember it being some sort of a lion, but you have to note, I was really dumb as a kid, so it could have been a chimera, and I just thought, oh, a lion! Because 6-year-old or 5-year-old me didn't know the difference.
But you at least knew, like, lions, which means that specifically it definitely had, like, a lion mane, right?
I'm not 100% on the mane, I think it was more the body, which could still mean chimera.
Like, usually, like, when you think of a lion, like, the mane is the biggest feature that stands out. So, if you're doing it based on the body, but not the mane,
Could
it
have
sounds
been a
like it
griffin.
could be
What's that?
any kind of big cat, aside from maybe a tiger. So, rather, any big cat that doesn't have distinctive spots or stripes.
Yeah.
So, it could have been a lion, or like a mountain lion or cougar, or a very light furred puma,
Yeah. Again, or
or
some sort of a chimera, or maybe a griffin or something.
sorry, a griffin.
Stay vigilant, Master.
Oh, I guess there is the kind of griffin that kind of has that look. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Bandits arisen.
I hear griffin and I immediately think more the much more bird-like. Ooh, my vocation ranking.
Yeah, it's already at 4 out of, like, 5.
Nice.
You're doing a really good job at being a mage. So
Excellent.
it's like... So I almost kind of want to do a thing for the channel, where I just play through every single PS1 JRPG, at least long enough to know for certain whether if it is not the game. Because we can't discount the possibility that I simply dreamed up the entire game on multiple occasions that I had just simply dreamed up playing through this one game.
You know, and the thing is, I can't help but think, what's the possibility it was a Game Boy game?
0. I didn't rent any Game Boy games. I specifically remember playing it on the TV. as
Okay,
well.
okay.
So it
Because the
also
thing
means
is,
it wasn't a
I can-
computer game.
Because I can think that it was. I can think of one or two games that might have played out how you described there.
There's also a chance it was an NES game. I don't think that I rented games for the NES, but there is a chance it could have been.
And you said it
Because those-
was turn-based?
Yes. And, like, I remember, like, the battle screen, I could try to even draw a picture of it. So I remember it was, like, there was a framing around it all. The bottom half of the screen showed, like the character's actions that you could do, whereas the top half, on the left side were my characters. On the right side was, like, the opposing line.
So you said the line was on the right side.
Yes. There's also another thing. I don't know if it was from the same game or not. I'm not even so certain if this would be a different way of figuring it out. But I remember, like, going up to a sign and trying to read it, and the game said something to the tune of, "Yeah, this is the back of the sign. You have to go around to the front to read it." So if that's a trope, then maybe we could just look in TV tropes and narrow down the list. If, of course, that is the same game, and if I'm not just conflating it with something else.
Every beast has its weakness. Observe closely and learn to exploit it.
Did it look something like this?
Oh, let me tab away to take a look-see at it. It was something similar to this, yes. I don't think it was specifically this, but it did look similar to that. Although, I think that the commands that I was giving were on the left side, but I can't be certain. But yeah, that is something similar.
Do you remember how many members there were in the party?
I believe there were 4, but I do not actually know for certain.
Okay. Now, the reason why I brought up that one in particular is because with the way you described it, I wonder, especially if it was like a strong enemy that you couldn't, that basically just ruined you, made me think, while in Final Fantasy, like the classic Final Fantasy games, the party is on the right side of the screen and the enemy is on the left. However, from Final Fantasy 4 and 4, 5, and 6, so I guess 4 and 6, or in North America known as Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3, because reasons. Yeah, if you get ambushed, like attacked from behind, the party is then on the left and the enemy is on the right.
Well, that would explain it. Was it literally
And
just Final Fantasy, like 2, 3, or 4? That would be absolutely hilarious. I've been looking for this game for like 20 years.
well, okay.
Graceful magic arisen.
It is. I would guess it probably was Final Fantasy IV, or if it was like, it might have been on Final Fantasy II if it's the original North American.
I know it wasn't the first one.
Wait, what systems would you have had access to?
NES, PS1, and 64.
I would say it seems likely that it may have been Final Fantasy IV on PS1 then.
Did you find any, like, screenshots of that? Especially the whole thing with, like, the Dark City. It was very
Dark
memorable.
City?
Yeah, I just remember, like, being in a city, and I very much remember, like, the layout of this little town. And you had to, like, there were little, like, monsters all around it, and you had to defeat them all. And I think there's, like, and then you could actually finally, like, leave through the north of the city. I remember it took me so long to actually defeat them all. Because I was really bad at video games, and I mean, I still am.
Would that have been very early on in the game, do you think?
Probably decently early, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like... That kind of sounds like one of the first towns in Final Fantasy IV. I think.
The game crashed again.
I had a feeling that's what just happened.
My computer's good enough to run this, I promise. So am I gonna have to go play some Final Fantasy IV after this?
I think so.
Huh. Just want to hold down the speed up button.
Well, that's probably not the PS1. But... Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, because I rented like all sorts of games from Blockbuster. Just all the time. Retry. Because I mean, that's just what you did back then. You couldn't just be buying games all the time. No, instead you had to rent them. You'd probably spend more on just renting the games than you would if you just bought them.
Yeah, I'll just say this. Yeah, in terms of renting games, like, I think once you've rented it, like, I think once you've rented it 4 times, you may as well just buy it.
You basically already paid the cost for it. Well, then it's like sunk cost fallacy, right? It's like, well, maybe I should have bought it originally, but am I going to rent it another 4 times? I'm probably close to the end already.
Well, first of all, if it's an RPG, bad choice for renting. Every time. Because
Bugs
you
Bunny
will
and
not
Taz
finish it
Time
in the
Busters
time of
win.
rental. Sorry, what?
Bugs Bunny and Taz Time Busters must have rented that game dozens of times.
Now, is that because you had to start at the beginning every time?
No, it was a long game, considering I wasn't super great at games.
Right. Save files, like on the memory card. Right,
PS1.
The reason why I was asking that is because the one game I specifically remember renting was Paper Mario.
But that had save files on the cartridge.
Yes.
That would all be overwritten every time.
However, and I feel pretty proud of myself for thinking about this, I made note of the serial number on it to make sure that we rented the same copy each time. And when eventually they decided, okay, yep, it's not as popular anymore, so they're going to start selling off their copies, I was lucky enough that they hadn't sold the copy I had been playing. And my dad bought it for me.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
I still remember playing, or renting, a copy of Ocarina of Time, you know, before I owned a copy. And, okay, keep in mind, I think I was either 5 or 6 at the time. I saw the 3 files on there, and what I thought I was doing was just renaming them after, like, myself and my parents, because this is the thing that I did. What I was actually doing was just making new saves. So I just overwrote all 3 saves, thinking I was just renaming them.
Oh.
Did it?
Yeah, I played to the beginning of Ocarina of Time a lot.
Wolves hunt in packs.
And then I got a copy for myself. I had a friend help me beat it. I don't think it was even 100% complete. I think it was 99% complete. I was missing the ice arrows because my friend told me that the Grotto Training Grounds was missing 1 key. And I'd opened up all the doors to the right, so I thought I wouldn't be able to get the ice arrows. But, as it turns out, there's an extra key that my friend didn't know about.
Of course.
It's the one where if you go into, like, the key maze, and you climb up the wall, there's a hidden room up there.
Every beast has its weakness.
Ooh, a hidden room.
And learn to exploit
It's not, you know,
Wolves hunt in packs.
super completely hidden, because if you go through, you know, the other paths, so you can see that room, and then you can try to figure out where it is. But if you aren't thinking about that, it might just seem inaccessible. And just like,
Right.
oh, hey. And yeah, if you have lens of truth, then you can, like, look up at the ceiling at one part. Really, the biggest hint is, hey, you see these walls? You can climb up them.
They attack in quick succession. Fireworks where?
Yeah.
No, they hold
I could totally see me as a kid just being all like, oh, you can climb up these. What if there's a spot where you're actually supposed to climb up? And being told, oh no, that's stupid.
Pork.
Cyclops! Skeleton Lord Master.
Wait, there's these bandits and also a Cyclops?
And this knife I found.
Huzzah! Questlog updated, slay your enemies!
Every beast has its
So when I was a kid, I had this
and learn to
idea for, like, how to make Christmas, like, basically last all day. And it's a general idea that I still think is a decently good idea. Especially if you have, like, little kids around, whatever. And you just, want them to be occupied all day. Open up one gift. Use the gift. Experiment with it. Get the enjoyment out of, hey, this thing is new. And then, once you're done with that, open up the next gift. And I'd say it works really well with children if you, just want them to be busy all day. And you don't have, like, the whole family over and a whole bunch of other kids and wanting to do stuff with them. But, like, if you just want your kid just to be busy, it's a great idea. They get to play with all their new toys, whatever. Make it last all day. Well, that's what I did when I was a kid. I'd open up a toy, go up to my room, play with it, and then come back downstairs to open up another gift. And then I opened up Ocarina of Time, went upstairs, and I didn't come back down again.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah,
Was that the end of that tradition?
Funny enough, probably, actually. I mean, I still kind of do that as an adult now, except, like, the things that I get are not necessarily things that can be used right away. Oh, look, there's a Cyclops.
So what you're saying is if I want to make sure that you enjoy everything I give you pretty quickly, I have to only give you food.
I mean, for Christmas, that's most of what I get is foods and chocolates and snacks and that sort of thing.
You're hanging on to his ass crack.
Hold on. There's a plan with this thing. There. You have him take off his own helmet. And then you stab him in the eye. You blind him down.
You might want to heal your,
I'm trying to! When you get stunned and you're, like, just wobbling like that, it lasts a long time.
Hey, you might want to heal me as well.
That's what I get for trying to be a healer.
There's no shame in fleeing from an overpowering foe, Claire.
Observe closely and learn to accept.
Maybe I would flee if I knew where I was supposed to flee to. Maybe that I should take that as a lesson and not try to keep going down this way. Because, hey, there's bandits who are working together with a Cyclops.
Also,
Why?
you could follow the advice that you remarked that Azura gave you earlier.
Which one? Only go during
Don't
the day?
travel at night.
I don't know how we could make camp. I don't see, like, a camp thing. Okay, the party is together. We're out of combat. Let's just wait for a few minutes here.
My kind grows better able to serve the more we learn. Monsters grow bold by night.
Master! Wolves!
Yeah, you did a good job of this.
Looks like there's an inn and rest camps that you have to find where you can sleep until.
So how's the
And-
wolves going for you?
Huh?
They're a slippery target.
How's what going
Oh.
for me?
The party found wolves.
Oh.
I can't see the wolf, but I can see its health bar.
Fireworks web.
Strength in numbers arisen.
Yeah, I guess that was an idea that I could have used when I was a kid. Just look at the memory card and hope I hadn't. Yeah, just look at my old PS1 memory cards and hope I haven't overwritten the save.
Skeleton Lord.
Yeah, that is something you can try to do.
I probably overwrote the save.
They're armed, Master. Bones. Walking bones.
Hey, maybe you could see if Blockbuster still has your records. Oh.
Where that fails, seek new foes.
First strike shall be mine. Skeleton bones move on their own. Wolves hunt in packs.
No? Joke wasn't funny?
I'm trying to fight this weird thing. Come on, Cherry, keep fighting.
How about you? I'll strike from their rear. With burning light.
Honestly, yeah, this trip ability, I wasn't so sure about it. Oh my gosh, that's effective.
What's that?
Hey, I leveled up.
Good.
Now I'm level 12.
It is enormous.
I still remember once I was playing some like Bugs Bunny game, not Time Busters, something else. It was time to go back to the store to return the game, so I paused it, took the disc out. We went to the store to return it, asked my dad if we could rent it again, he said sure, so we brought it back home, put the game back in, unpaused and kept playing.
Wow.
It worked fine! Because I'm guessing it doesn't, like, check any of the data on the disc while it was, like, paused, / while... Like, all of the data needed was just saved in RAM for the pause menu, I guess. Like, I don't know what it would have done if I had tried to hit play.
I mean, it wouldn't work, is what happened.
Emma. We defeated the Cyclops. It took a few tries, but we did it.
Serve. Be wary of lights in the darkness. Goblins oft bear torches.
We killed a Cyclops. Can you at least celebrate?
Choose your way. You need but consult your map. If Vic
I'm getting some heavy things here.
victory is elusive, seek new allies. Where that fails, seek new foes.
That has been quite a wonderful way to end off an episode here. We defeated this ogre. Its corpse has rotted away. Probably shouldn't walk directly on the rot. Can we kill? Unfortunately, we cannot even try to pick up its weapon or its helmet. They're both completely intangible. I say that's a missed opportunity. You should be able to pick up, like, the club or the helmet, whatever, and if you can drag them back to town, sell them for, like, a decent chunk of money. Excuse me, what do you mean there's a battle here? I say no!